The state of education is deeply saddening. The dependencies that are nurtured in the name of education do not allow for the birth of a free and healthy human being. The fundamental reasons for the ugliness and disability in which humanity is trapped are hidden in education itself. Education has severed man from nature, but it has not given birth to culture. Instead, it has given birth to perversion. This perversion is passed on from one generation to the next. And when perversion itself is understood as culture,
it is not surprising that the
act of imposing it takes on the aura of virtue. And when sin appears in the guise of virtue, it becomes extremely harmful. That is why exploitation stands under the guise of service, and violence dons the garb of nonviolence.
And perversions wear the masks of culture.
It is not without reason that adharma, unrighteousness, finds a dwelling in the temples of dharma. Adharma never appears directly and naked. Therefore, it is always appropriate to not have faith solely in clothes. It is absolutely necessary to uncover the clothes and see. I too would like to uncover the garments of education. I hope you won't mind. It is out of compulsion that I have to do this. To see the true soul of education, its so-called garments must be removed, because beneath the most beautiful garments, there must surely dwell an unhealthy and ugly soul. Otherwise, human life could not be a life of so much hatred, violence, and adharma. Seeing the bitter and poisonous fruits on the tree of life, does it not remind us of the sowing of wrong seeds? If the seeds are not wrong, how can the tree bear wrong fruits? The tree being full of poisonous fruits is nothing but a sign of the poison hidden in the seed. If man is wrong, then surely education is not right. It may be that you do not think this way, and that my words do not correspond with your thoughts. But I do not request to be believed, only to be heard. That much is enough. It is enough to listen peacefully to the truth. Only falsehood insists on being believed. Truth bears fruit simply by being heard. The proper hearing of truth is itself acceptance. My view may also be different and opposed to pedagogy. I am neither an educationist nor a sociologist, but this is fortunate, because the more one knows about the scriptures,
the more difficult it becomes
for them to know life. Scriptures always become an obstacle to knowing the truth. A mind filled with scriptures ceases to think. For contemplation, one needs a free and unbiased mind. Scriptures and theories create sides, and then there is no longer an impartial and innocent view of life and its problems. For those for whom scriptures are important, solutions become more important than problems. He starts seeing problems not in terms of solutions, but in terms of solutions. The stupid situation that arises from this does not end the problems with solutions, but rather increases them. The entire history of man is proof of this. Why are man's thoughts and conduct so different and self-contradictory? This is the result of solutions imposed on life based on scriptures and principles. Solutions are not born from problems. They are imposed on problems. Solutions are above. Problems are within. Solutions are in intellect. Problems are in life. And this conflict has become suicidal. The madness that has been going on within the civilization has now reached the point of explosion. The entire humanity is terrified by the possibility of its explosion. But what will happen by merely being afraid? There is a need not to be afraid, but to know and recognize the entire situation courageously. I won't meddle in the scriptures, because I don't want to be blind to the solutions. I want to talk to you about some things that arise from looking at the problems directly. Is it not possible that we can see life directly? Is it not possible that we see life as the first man would have seen it? Can't our mind see life with that much simplicity, freedom, and ease? I consider this the most important problem facing education. If education makes a person's mind so burdened, complex, and old that it loses its direct contact with life, then it is not auspicious. The burdened and old mind remains deprived of all the knowledge, joy, and beauty of life. To experience knowledge, joy, and beauty, a young mind is needed. The body is bound to age, but the mind is not. The mind can remain young forever. The mind can remain young till the last moment of death, and only such a mind is able to know the secrets of life and death. Such a mind is a religious mind, but education ages the mind. It does not awaken the mind, it fills it, and filling makes the mind old. Being filled with thoughts makes the mind tired, burdened and old. To give thought, to fill memory, that is not the awakening of thought or conscience. Memory is not wisdom. Memory is mechanical. Vivek is consciousness. Thoughts are not to be given. Thoughts are to be awakened. Where thought is alert, the mind is always young. And where the mind is young, there is a continuous struggle for life. There the doors of consciousness are open, and there comes the fresh breeze of the morning and the light of the newly rising sun. When a person becomes captive to the thoughts and words of others, his own ability to fly in the sky of truth is destroyed. But what does education do? Does it teach to think? Or is it satisfied with merely giving dead and borrowed ideas? What is more alive and powerful than thought? But merely learning the thoughts of others is not just another inanity.
Inert and even dead.
Collection of thoughts brings inertia. Thoughts and wisdom are not born from the accumulation of thoughts.